Hello.
Hey,
Oh!
how you doing?
Sorry guys, I just need you.
Well,
Okay.
don't ever get Jessica mad. She has a quite,
I have a metal leg.
yeah, if we should just hit the table and knock that over, so. Yeah.
Hi Katie.
Well, we've been thinking about this for a minute. Actually, who was it that left a comment?
Joel.
Joel.
Call you out.
Joel, our
boom.
Canadian friend Joel.
Canadian friend Joel. Last time we did a live, he said great relationships are very rare.
Now, why do you think someone would say great relationships are rare? Like, think about that. Why would you say that? Why would you say that, Jess? Why do you think people say that?
Well, I think it could be that, well, it really depends on how you're defining great relationships. Are you defining a great relationship on you don't fight very often? Are you defining a great relationship on one where you are really happy all the time? One where you don't have a lot of financial issues? Or all of the above? And so what's interesting to me when I saw that comment, at first I reacted a little bit and I had to work through that reaction because I felt a little sad at first. I was like, they're rare? What? Like, everybody should be able to experience this. And I realized that was stemming from people don't agree upon principles for their relationship. And I know I sound like I'm beating a dead dog because we've said that so many times. But seriously, you guys, think about it. Think about it. How many relationships are actually built on principles?
Yeah, like built on a real agreement where both partners are in agreement of this is what we're about.
And this is what we want to accomplish by being together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if every relationship had that as a starting point, I don't think great relationships would be rare. And I just we wanted to go live today and just let you know, like, that does not have to be the norm. Great relationships do not have to be rare. And it is not difficult to be in a great relationship. You can be in a great relationship, but you first have to find the principles that you live on. You first have to know, like, what do I think what do I know to be true within this lifetime? Like, what is going to be harming life, other forms of life, my life, what's going to be actually supporting life, and live by that, like truly embody that and find someone who's in alignment. And your relationship is going to be great because guess what? If you're not in alignment with the principles you agreed upon, you just call each other out and you just get better. Like, great relationships are based on principles. And also, I think another good aspect of that is teachability. Like, are you willing to change and are you willing to grow?
Yeah. Are you willing to really learn, right? That's what teachable is if you don't know what that means.
Yeah. Yeah, because in a relationship, if you're not willing to be teachable, then yeah, you're probably...
Then what are you doing? You're basically a parasite sucking the other person's
true.
life force energy, and maybe they're sucking your life force energy, so you think it's valid, but
yeah, because if you aren't willing to adapt and change and learn and grow, like, throughout a lifetime of a human being, you're not going to be exactly the same that you were when you were a child. Like, people who get into those repetitive patterns, like, those are people who develop dementia and things like that later on in life because, like, their brains don't have any new things going on. They're just running on the same patterns and the same patterns and the same patterns. Like, that's how some people get mental illnesses. They get psychological issues, things like that, because, like, they aren't growing and expanding. Like, life, it grows and expands. Like, do you see those videos and stuff about nature persisting no matter where you're at? Like, the cracks in the sidewalks has grass growing out of them, and on the side of the cliffs still has plant life. animals persist. Like you see those gnarly things on Instagram. I don't know if you follow Nature is Metal, but it's super wild. Like these animals are still thriving even with these intense like gashes in their body from being attacked and like things like that. And it's crazy. It's like nature persists. Nature expands, nature grows. Well, guess what? You are a human. You are a part of nature. And so you shall persist or you shall slowly die. And that's all it is. It's like in a relationship, if you are just slowly dying, your relationship is doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. But if you are growing and expanding together based on these principles, then of course it's going to be a great relationship. And that does not need to be rare. Mm-hmm. It doesn't need to be rare.
But it is right now. And what's really, it becomes obvious. You'll see couples, they get into a relationship, and it's the classic. They're in love. It feels amazing. They post it on Instagram, post it on social media. They're all hype about it, right? And then you got honeymoon phase, and then time passes. And it's over time, it gets worse and worse and worse, till eventually it's like, this just ain't working for me, or, oh, well, I'm just not happy like I used to be, or whatever excuse that it is.
This isn't a great relationship anymore.
Yeah, I'm just not getting out of it. Whatever, it's an excuse. I'll be very clear. That's what it is. And you'll see with Jess and I and the other couples that are in the various groups that we're part of that are based on agreement, it's so funny because so many people, because you've never heard of a relationship based on an agreement, there's this thought of, oh, well, is it gonna feel good? Or is it...
Do you actually love each other?
Yeah.
That sounds like it's just a business agreement. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you is he manipulating you? Are you in this for the right reasons?
Yeah, it's so funny because look at how our relationship has grown. I mean, since April, I don't know when we first started making our videos, but it was around maybe May or June. And what it's growing into, we're still just getting started. And we clearly see the next 12, 24 months, next 5 years, 10 years, and literally the rest of our lives, and how it keeps building. Just like Jess was explaining, how nature persists and nature grows and expands. That's literally what this looks like. And it's so simple. And we will keep saying it over and over. It comes back to you having principles and an agreement with yourself and then with your partner. And being able to communicate that. And realizing even when it gets tough, and even when you feel like not talking to the other person, that's when you should really talk the most. Yeah. So,
yeah, also, but I think that point of teachability is really important too. It's not as important as the principles, but I think it pairs very well with the principles, because without ability to change, you didn't grow up necessarily with these principles or with any principles, whatever principles you want to live by, right? So it's not natural to you. Naturally, other patterns are gonna come up, and that's what you're gonna exist as. And if you're not willing to change those patterns to grow into the relationship that you've developed and to grow and expand and to really embody the principles you've agreed upon, then it's not actually going to support your relationship.
Here's something I just thought of. Be honest with yourself. Would you want to be in a relationship with you?
Ooh. Well, I mean, the thing is you are in a relationship with yourself technically, because we've all separated ourselves from our body so much that we just have either a horrible negative relationship to our body or a super positive relationship to our body instead of just being
the
equal
super
to
positive is actually a coping mechanism.
It's the same thing as having a negative relationship. It's
Yeah.
both separate from that body part. It's like saying your heart is saying, oh, brain, I don't like you today. I just feel a little emotional, and you're just not doing things in the normal way that you do. You're thinking a little differently, and I'm having heart palpitations because of you. I'm blaming everything that's going on in my life because of you.
Wait, so I can't blame all my problems on you anymore, Jess?
No. But also, you
That
can't
was too easy.
you can't blame your body parts for things. Like, you're the one that created your body to be the way it is by perpetuating this separation.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a reflection into your relationship as well. Like, if you see yourself like separate from your relationship, you're not going to fully be present in it and like living it and embodying this relationship and these principles that you've agreed upon, and realizing that it truly is 1 + 1, and that equals a really amazing output. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I see it so clearly. And so when I got a little triggered by seeing that, Joel, it's because I know it's possible for everybody to have a relationship like this. I know it's possible to have fantastic, fulfilling, great, pleasurable, like satisfactory, whatever, all the beautiful words that a relationship could be. And it's so simple. It's honestly so simple. Just communicate on why you're in the relationship and the things you're going to agree upon in that relationship. That's it. And it doesn't need to be the same thing that we're doing. It's so crazy. Like, people just have like an unspoken, like, we're in this thing. I'm not really sure what this thing is, but you know, it feels good, and I'm getting a lot of this energy from this. Oh, as long as it's
not
Facebook
complicated.
official.
We're just in a relationship on Facebook.
It's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's so screwed up. So that's why we make these videos, to show you that it's not special or rare. And we have the intention, so to speak, to help 10, 20, 30 other couples also do this. Yeah, I mean, it will grow to that amount over time. But for those who are watching these videos and you watch, you know, the replays on YouTube and things like that.
I don't want to call you out, but I've seen one specific name come up on the last few videos. And if you're hearing me right now and you know it's you, reach out.
Yeah.
What's interesting about watching these lives? Why do you keep showing up? Why do you keep watching?
Yeah. So if that is you, and you say, hey, I'm single and I want to figure out if it's even possible to, you know, have a good relationship, or you're in a relationship and it sucks, or it's even pretty good, or maybe you are one of them, the rare ones, the rare unicorns that have this phenomenal relationship, right? Let's talk, because the world right now.
Let's learn from each other.
Yeah, because the world right now needs it. Like, real solid people who are stable, because where everything's headed, I mean, right now at time of this recording, the election hasn't happened yet, but the world is divided.
Wait. The election of 2020.
Yeah, the election of 2020, to be blatantly clear.
To be specific.
Yeah, because this will live on YouTube and online, you know, for as long as we can foresee. So let's come together over this and actually make these great relationships be a normal thing where you can have it. And then you actually enjoy, like, coming home from work. I'm like, oh, I'm excited. Like, I get to come home and, you know, have, like, you know, some time, and I can eat a meal with Jess, or we can, like, spend time together. It's so cool. It's so life-giving. Unlike any amount of addiction, porn, drugs, TV, Netflix, movie, whatever it is, whatever your coping device is, a real relationship based in agreement is more fulfilling, more mysterious, fun, exciting than any amount of coping thing that you're doing, I promise you. So for those who actually want to change, or at least hear a little bit more, reach out, because we ain't going to chase you down. But we will keep making these videos until it gets through your thick skull that you can actually have this for yourself. Any closing thoughts, Jess? Sorry, I'm just messaging this guy in Colombia I'm supposed to talk to.
I think my last thought is, I'm excited to talk to you. Whoever's watching this, whoever watches this later on, whoever only watched for 2 seconds and hopped off, but came back and rewatched, I want to talk to you. I want to see what's up. How's your relationship going? How's being single? What are you looking forward to? What's not working? Like, let's just open up a conversation. Like, we are human beings. We are meant to have relationships. That is what life is about. Like, let's develop a relationship and actually communicate. And that is all I wanted to say. McKenna, congratulations on your wedding. I saw your photos today. They were fabulous. Okay. Bye, guys.